All right, what's up, guys? It's Jack, and I have to say that I have to give a shout out and a tip of the hat to all my fellow content creators out there, both big and small, that are commentators and or of the gameplay channels that actually voice their opinion, and the ones that are legit or whatnot, or even the Warzone players themselves. I got to give props to pretty much everybody that absolutely put their heart and soul into their videos to basically try to make a change and to fight the system that is absolutely unbeatable in order to make their voices heard and to change things in terms of Call of Duty and what they've chosen to implement it in the game that is basically destroying its identity of what it was and what got it to be where it is where it is now today. And you guys absolutely positively gave it your all. And I've seen a lot of videos from both big and small content creators out there that were absolutely passionate in terms of what they were saying in their commentaries. The fact that they literally voiced their feelings, their opinions, and have given reason, and also a lot of them proof of why this is bad and all the BS and how the community is being ignored, taken advantage of, and everything in between. This commentary that I would make talking about that could easily be an hour or more long. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to torture you guys into that. But these content creators, every single one of them gave it everything. Like, they gave it everything they had. They gave it, like, all their commentary magic was like put on full display and passion. I mean, they went above and beyond. And yet it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. So Activision has once again done their quarterly report in terms of what they've done, the amount of revenue they generate and all that kind of stuff. And things like hashtag boycott the battle pass absolutely positively did not work. Now, there are a multitude of reasons of why this boycott the battle pass thing did not work. But long story short, without getting into the reasons and speculations, which would pretty much just be a waste of time at this point right now, it just really goes to show you how powerless we are and how sometimes we just have to accept the inevitable. And the fact is that not just in Call of Duty, but in life as well, nothing lasts forever. And the Call of Duty multiplayer that we once knew and loved is dying now. It is officially dying. It's been dying, but at this point, it's been given one more dose of poison, so to speak, that is going to speed up the process in favor of something else that is generating more money than what the traditional multiplayer that we knew and loved used to generate, and that is, Battle Royale. And even competitive multiplayer, the competitive scene makes a lot of money. I mean, each team had to dish out $25 million just to, become a part of the franchising or whatnot. And the players, especially the big name players, the kids watch them. A lot of the kids watch them, and there's merchandising and everything like that. I mean, Optic Gaming obviously is a big one. It always has been, and it's only getting bigger. And the same thing goes for the other teams that were smaller. Those are only getting bigger. More and more players and more teams are growing out of the woodworks, and things that are growing are what's going to make money, and things that are not growing and not evolving are going to make less and less money. And Battle Royale is where it's at right now, and it is time for that. Just like back in the day when Halo 4 came out, Xbox Live was born, and this was back in 2004. This was a year after I graduated high school, and I remember it just like it was yesterday. And even PC players got an Xbox console, got Xbox Live, and basically played the shit out of Halo. And and what Halo 2 was able to do back then on the original Xbox, and in the beginning of Xbox Live, that kind of multiplayer on console actually even stood tall against what PC was doing back in the day, which was doing it way before Halo was. But the timing was there, people were there playing it, the passion was there, it was Halo's time, and then fast forward 3 years later, Call of Duty 4 came out, the original Modern Warfare, and then that game pretty much took over because it was a lot more casual than Halo. Halo was more competitive, and Call of Duty was more casual, easier to pick up, and at the same time, it was more customizable, which is something that Halo did not have. So Call of Duty also did a few things that Halo didn't do. So for, you guys can understand where I'm going with this. There was a cycle, and right now, casual Call of Duty multiplayer is just taking a back seat, and it's going to continue to take more and more of a back seat as the years go on. And all that's going to be left is a very small fraction of what it used to be. And it is something that as a community, no matter how passionate we are, no matter how much the bullshit is, I get it and I'm with you. We just basically have to accept it. We have to accept it. I mean, it's kind of like life itself. I mean, it really is difficult to accept certain things, especially depending on the kind of person you are and how passionate you may feel about certain things. It is one of the most difficult things to accept, especially when certain things come to an end, especially when those things are good, and especially if you've invested so much of your time, your effort, and even your money to a certain extent into it. And granted, even your content creation, for those of you guys that are content creators out there. For whatever reason, it is definitely difficult to say goodbye, and certain things are just very hard to accept. I mean, and this doesn't just limit itself to video games and to Call of Duty. Like I said, it goes on into life, and it even goes on, like, another thing I want to explain is like basically like the '98 Chicago Bulls. They could have kept going, but it was stopped because of reasons of money, because a lot of players were going to be more expensive to afford. And at the same time, there was a few egos involved and stuff like that. And, but overall, when you look at it, one way or another, all things come to an end. And so if you're one of those people that accepts it or not, we're just going to have to, in some way, shape, or form, move on. Whether it means playing another game, or whether it means just not taking Call of Duty seriously anymore. And for those of you guys that are content creators, obviously, for those of you guys that are, especially for those of you guys that are growing, and for those of you guys that are also making money from this, obviously, I'm sure you guys are going to probably continue to do the same thing. You guys might change a few things up a little bit or whatnot. And you guys are going to continue to weather the storm, and which is why I'm also going to continue to tip my hats to you. I am going to continue tipping my hats, and you guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely awesome at what you do, for those of you guys that keep it legit, and I will continue to be a fan, and I will continue to cheer you guys on. And, is the only thing I could say is that I hope you stay true to yourselves. That's it. Because usually when a lot of people, when they make it to a certain point, that stops. So, and ultimately in life, video games, business, and all that kind of stuff, all this stuff just kind of connects in some way, shape, or form. It's got a little bit of everything. There's BS, there's legitimacy, there's money, there's greed, and then at the same time, there's also people out there that are the opposite of that. But in the world that we live in, money talks and bullshit walks, and no, it's not just 8 thoughts that said that. I've said it multiple times in my videos. My dad used to say it, rest his soul. He's actually the one that taught me the true meaning behind the phrase. I will continue to always respect my fellow content creators out there that absolutely did everything that they could possibly do to make some sort of change. And unfortunately, we have failed. More and more people than ever now have bought the battle pass with this game, with Black Ops Cold War, because this game's obviously World War II. Battle Royale is going to be at the forefront now. Bobby Kotick said it himself. And it's just time for Battle Royale. And then one day, I don't know when that day is, and I don't know how long this Battle Royale fiasco or party or whatever you want to call it is going to last. But one day there's going to be another type of game or a genre that is going to take the world by storm. And then the cycle is going to repeat itself. History and time has been known to repeat itself. And there are mistakes that have been made in the past that are the exact same mistakes that are being made in the present, and the cycle moves on. And then as human beings, we also have an ego, and we also have our imperfections, to where sometimes we just simply do not learn. And we just can't figure certain things out no matter what, or we just refuse to, because we have this weakness of taking the easier route or just taking the money, especially now with everything that's going on with the pandemic. So yeah, Call of Duty now is, for a lot of people, they've been saying it over the years that Call of Duty is dead, and they've been calling it for years, especially ever since they started implementing microtransactions. And then after, when skill-based matchmaking started being implemented, a lot of people, even in my comment section, back when I was making videos consistently, have basically been saying that Call of Duty is now dead. And over the years, that phrase, that term has been said time and time again. And other people out there were saying, well, no, it's been dead. So, but at this point right now, I feel like with this very recent Activision update of what they made quarterly this year, and also at the same time with the amount of effort put in by the community to basically make their voices heard, that, hey, what you guys are doing is bullshit, we're being ignored, you know, EOMM and SBMM don't belong in the game, all that kind of stuff, you know, and Warzone players crying for anti-cheats. And by the way, the only reason why Warzone is getting any attention other than the fact that they made a shit ton of money is also because of the fact that Vicstar made a video of how he's going to quit Warzone. And then all of a sudden, within 24 to 48 hours, Activision opened their mouth and said Raven is going to be in charge of implementing an anti-cheat system, and how 60,000 players were banned or some shit like that, which is nothing. They need to implement a legit anti-cheat system so that way, you know, there could be further things that could be done about it. Because if somebody gets banned, well, it's a free-to-play game. They can just make another account and just continue the cycle. So, but whether or not an anti-cheat system gets actually put in play, Warzone is continuing to generate money, and that's going to be at the forefront. So from now on, Call of Duty is going to take a different approach. Multiplayer is not going to be the main event like it used to be. And that is basically where we're at, and that is the direction that we're heading in. So, but yeah, it kind of seems like a bittersweet feeling because it's been 10 years and there were a lot of good memories, a lot of good games, and you know, there were a few bad games as well. But for the most part, I think we can say that we all have memories from the previous Call of Duty games back when Call of Duty was still pretty damn good. And one thing I think we can all learn from this is that it could always get worse. So at this point right now, I think a lot of players out there would even like enjoy playing a Call of Duty that they originally didn't enjoy, because that game didn't have a lot of the implementations that today's games are having. So, so yeah, I think we could all learn something from this. But yeah, the popularity of esports and the amount of kids that play Blackout and the amount of people that cheat or whatnot, whether they stream or not, those numbers are high. And the more people you have playing your game, the more chance that they're going to purchase something, and the more money that you will generate one way or another. So whether you're cheating or whether you're not cheating, what matters most is the money, unfortunately. And that is what gets things done. And unfortunately, we as a community, our voices are basically no different than a person screaming in outer space. Nobody's going to hear you. So the only language that is heard or spoken is money. And quite frankly, none of us are Jeff Bezos, and we don't have enough money to make a difference. It is as simple as that. How many times have you seen skill-based matchmaking trending on Twitter, especially over the last 48 hours or so? So it is what it is, and we're just going to have to accept it one way or another. But it's been a swell run. So I want you guys to tell me down in the comment section, for those of you guys that are going to be kind enough to do so, what are you guys going to do, whether you're a content creator or not? What are your plans? I'm actually curious to find out. And at the same time, as a player, what are your plans? Because are you going to move on from COD? Will Cold War be your last COD? Or, I mean, what are you guys thinking? Or do you guys not know what to think? Or are you guys just going to play it and just not give a damn anymore? And, you know, just what are your thoughts? So, because I wanted to make this video kind of just to give my thoughts. And today, or should I say yesterday at this point, because I'm recording this at 5:14 a.m. in the morning, it was definitely a big thing when they made the announcement of just how much they made and all that kind of stuff, because we as content creators that voiced our opinions on the game and what needs to be fixed and all the BS, well, we were trying to create change, and the fact that it had zero impact whatsoever just really, it's the proof. It's the nail in the coffin. It puts everything in perspective. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for this one. This ends the commentary. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think and what your thoughts are on the matter. And I'll catch you guys later.